G'day guys, Googs here for The Drunk Philosopher. Today I've got a uplifting or a happier point of view video because most of the videos you do, they're just as bad as the mainstream media really. This is negative, that is negative. Well, today I'm going to be a bit more positive because I'm seeing some good things start to happen in the sense of democratisation of things like the record industry and the movie industry. Also the democratisation of news and current affairs and television in general, cartoons, all satire, all this sort of thing, the democratisation of it. Now, to give you some idea of what I mean by that, the old school press, you went and bought a paper, right? And you'd open up the paper and you'd get what was on page 1, 2, 3, the ads, cartoons. And it was pretty much, I think Modesty Blaze has been running in every single newspaper cartoon section since whenever that started in the 50s or whatever it was. And it's just the same stuff. I mean, it's all about, this is bad, or that is bad, or here's our spin on this, here's our take on this, blah, blah, blah. What things like YouTube, BitChute, Gabminds.com, all of which I recommend you go check out. There's a lot of awesome content creators on those sites. Has said, look, we've got news and we're going to give, our spin on it. You've got political scientists on there, such as Sticks Hexenhammer 666. You've got journalists such as Tim Pool, who, once again, I thoroughly recommend. You've got people like Philip DeFranco. You can find left and right opinions there, but it's up to you whether or not you choose to watch their content. You've got the Daily Wire if you want the conservative point of view. You've got all kinds of things. You can even go BuzzFeed if you want to get a really weird sort of sense. Unfortunately, Alex Jones isn't on there anymore, which means that my entertainment level, is a lot less nowadays, because I used to love watching him get all hypo and rip off his shirt and go crazy and the turn on the frickin' frogs gay and all that sort of thing. It was fantastic. And you get interview shows instead of TV. You used to get The View or the Midday Show or whatever. Well, now you can watch something like the Joe Rogan Experience or whatever it's called. Joe Rogan that show is amazingly good. He has the most amazing 2 to 3 hour long conversations. I mean, you can get Sam Harris. You can get that sort of programming. But now it's up to you if you want to watch it. And you can watch it whenever you want. This is the democratization. It's like the shows now succeed because the people actually want to watch them, not that it's being forced down your throat and you have to see it at, because at 7:30 now, the time slot is, Family Matters Part 3.6 or whatever the fuck it is. And this is a good thing. When it comes to news and current affairs as well, you've also got a lot of channels on all 4 of those platforms where somebody has actually got or taken a video of something that, let's say, the mainstream media are talking about, but they've actually got the raw footage, so you can actually see what's happened. This is a good thing, guys. This is actually really awesome. I love it. As far as the recording industry goes, now the recording industry, of course, has had the monopoly on recording since the 1960s and 70s, and it's getting more and more constrained and constricted, and shows like You're the Voice and things like this. Australia's Got Talent, and where they find the latest big thing, and you find out later that it's EMI or BMG or one of these other, Universal, one of these other big multinational corporations who are just gonna, grab the new artist by the throat and the head and just twist it a little, aka poor old Kesha, or mind you, that's a different story again, but once again, you become part of this machine in the recording industry. Today, all you need is a guitar, a few rudimentary recording programs, and if you're really dinkum about starting a career, you can have a career on YouTube. And I mean that there are people touring right now. For example, Leo Maracchioli is touring right now, Frog Leap Studios. Why? Well, everybody knows who he is, who's on YouTube. Why? Because the dude makes really good film clips, does great covers of great songs, and his own originals are really cool. And the same goes with people like Jared Dines or Metal Cohen, people like this, who've got bands now and they're touring and they're actually making some good money without a big recording contract. And this is great. This is the democratization of the music industry. This is, people can now find music without having to worry about, without having to go through the whole process of, well, our release date is such and such on such and such and such and such, because that's what the record company wants. No, I can release my album whenever the hell I choose if I want to record one. And then it's going to be up to the people, you know, myself, okay, I'm going to advertise it everywhere. You know, Twitter, Facebook, Gab, YouTube, whatever. And you can make your band successful. You can make your singing career. You can start a singing career. Why not? And you've got plenty of a cappella bands on YouTube and all these other platforms, and they're doing really well. They release their album on iTunes or Google Play, and they're making good money, okay? We don't need the corporate model of the recording studio anymore, the Universals of this world, the BMGs, the EMG, not EMG's a guitar manufacturer, but you know, you don't need Sony anymore. You can just make your own music and put it out there, advertise it, and see if people want to listen to it. And if they want to listen to it, man, you can become quite successful. There's no reason for them anymore. And the same goes with cartoons. There's some great cartoons out there. One of my favorites in a more adult vein is The Big Les Show. And there's 4 seasons of it. And it's on YouTube. You can donate money. And that's the other thing. You can donate money to these bands, to these artists, to these journalists, to these people. You know, okay, I like what you have to do. I will donate money to you, whether it be through PayPal or Kickstarter or whatever the fuck. And it's democratizing that as well. So now you can go, well, I like this cartoon. I like this person's content. I like the mythology explanations they give, whatever it is. Blacksmiths, you name it, it's all there. And essentially, it takes the old mainstream media idea and it's demolished. It doesn't need to exist anymore. And they know that. This is why they sell you controversy, right? Because they want to keep you involved. And they think somehow that social media, like, you know, somebody says something dumb on Twitter, oh my God, look, somebody who is a nobody and a nothing to anyone, or basically just a regular Joe or Josephine or whatever you want to call it, has said something we don't like. Oh, who cares? I mean, who gives a fuck? We all say dumb shit sometimes, especially if we're in a bad mood. It's not hard to get in a bad mood when you watch the media or when you bloody watch, you know, or you go on social media. It's pretty easy to get in a bad mood pretty quick. But it's the democratization. And even movies. There are some young directors, okay, they might only be half an hour movies or short films or whatever it is. Some of these young people have got some great ideas. And they don't need Disney because they can do a Kickstarter, okay? Their movie will never be $300 million or more expensive. But man, some of these movies are up there in quality, up there with anything you'd find in the 80s and 90s. And you can even do a bit of CGI or completely do it CGI. And it's amazing. It's the democratization of our entertainment, of our news, our current affairs, of our music. This, my friends, is exactly what we needed, because the corporations are now going, what the hell are we going to do? You know, and I really recommend, I don't care whether you're of the baby boomer generation, you're Gen X, I don't need to say this to the millennials or the Gen Zers, but get on these platforms, see what's out there, and then throw away the remote. Just throw it away. Foxtel, Sky News or whatever. I think Sky is the version of Foxtel in UK. Netflix, none of this is necessary anymore, guys. It just is not necessary. Other than, you know, if you're a sports fan, probably. And I don't know if that'll ever be democratized, but I very much doubt it because it's very specific. However, for all other forms of entertainment, you do not need mainstream media. You do not need to bow to a corporation. You do not need to listen to their crap. We are finally at a point where we can do this to the corporations. And man, I'm loving every minute of it. The democratization of of the world of entertainment is finally here. I'm Nathan Googs Fletcher. I am the drunk philosopher, and I'll catch you good people later on. Uru. Be good.